Hey, what's up everybody? This is Suburbs501 and today I want to go over the lowest recoil build for the RPK in patch 12.9 of Escape from Tarkov. Now before we get into the video, 99% of you that watch my videos aren't subscribed, so make sure to subscribe if you want to keep up with all my Escape from Tarkov videos. And like with all of my videos, there will be a link in the description to the Tarkov Gunsmith website where you can go and easily see all these parts you need for the build and see updated prices for all those parts on the flea market. And if I'm not mistaken, the RPK is the lowest recoil 545 weapon you can currently get in the game. And functionally, the RPK is pretty much the same as the other full-size 545 AKs. There's not really much that is different between this and those weapons. It's just what attachments you can put on the weapon, and it still shares a good amount of attachments with those other AKs. But with that being said, the weapon still has pretty good stats when you fully build it, and in my opinion, it's a very satisfying weapon to use. Just the sounds the weapon makes, the animations with it, and everything that comes with that just makes it a pretty satisfying weapon for general use. So first for the dust cover, we have the Ishmash regular dust cover, which is where our sight is going to be on. And then for the sight, the only things you have to determine when choosing the sight is what range you want to use the sight at, what sight you like to use, and how the sight's going to affect the ergo of the weapon. Now with the RPK, you could easily use this as a pretty long range weapon. It has a pretty good muzzle velocity and is a fairly accurate weapon. So you could definitely be using, say, Validays on this, or if you wanted to get crazy and try to snipe with it, you could probably use like a Voodoo with the sight on top pretty easily and not have much difficulties. And then we're going to be having the Zenit RP1 charge handle, which is going to give us an extra ergo. Then you have the standard rear sight. There's not really a reason to take this off, so we just kept it on. And then we also have the Ishmash rear sight base. Not really a reason to take this off either, so it just stays on. Then we're going to be using the 22-inch barrel for the RPK. Then we're going to be using the Ishmash RPK 18 buffer tube. Then on that, we're going to have the Mo Carbine stock. Then on the Mo Carbine stock, we're going to have the Magpul rubber butt pad. Then for the pistol grip, I have the US Palm pistol grip. Now this is technically the best, but you can also use the Zenit RK3, which has the same exact ergo. The only difference between these two is a weight difference, and the US Palm is a bit lighter. Now just go whichever one of these is cheaper. If they're the same price, get the US Palm. The weight isn't going to make a massive difference, especially if it's going to be a lot more expensive. And then for the magazine, you have a good amount of options, but personally with any of the 545 AKs or AK platform weapons, the 60 round GL31 is probably gonna be your best bet. Just having a 60 rounder is always incredibly powerful, and you can keep this weapon at a pretty decent 42 ergo with the lowest recoil while having the 60 rounder on the weapon. And in my personal opinion, having that little bit of lower ergo for the 60 rounder is going to be definitely worth it. Next, we have our grip, and the weapon already comes with the rail on the bottom. So we're going to be using the Zenit RK2, which is the lowest recoil for this weapon. Now you could always go with the Zenit RK1 for a little bit more ergo, but a little bit higher recoil, or the Fortis Shift Tactical Grip for even further into ergo, but with a slightly higher recoil as well. Now personally, with this weapon, I do think the stats the lowest recoil build of the weapon has are very usable. 42 ergo with 50 vertical recoil is, in my opinion, very usable. Now if you're someone that likes a little bit more ergo, you could probably go with the Fortis Shift Tactical Grip, and it's going to give you that 12 plus ergo with only 3 to the vertical recoil. It's not going to be a massive vertical recoil increase, but the ergo is going to be a pretty big bump up. Then for the muzzle brake, we're going to be using the PWS CQB74. Now, one of the downsides of this weapon is it really doesn't have a viable silencer option, because none of the silencers reduce a recoil lower than the loud muzzle brake, and they all still have that massive ergo reduction. So in my opinion, there's not really a usable silencer for this weapon. Then we have our tactical device. I'd recommend the D-Ball tactical flashlight. Gives you an IR flashlight and a normal flashlight for when you're in those darker parts of the maps, but you can use whatever tactical device you want to use, and the weapon should come with the rail on it. If for whatever reason someone took the rail off and you bought the weapon on the flea market, just get the Ishmash RPK 16 rail. Then you're going to be using the Ishmash RPK 16 regular handguard, and you don't have any options for that. So that is the entirety of the lowest recoil RPK build. And like I said, in my opinion, the weapon is very satisfying to use. Overall, a very strong weapon. And I think the 545 AKs have become a little bit underrated. I think a lot of people have forgotten how good the BS and Eagle Neck rounds are, especially in weapons that have some pretty decent stats, even when compared to some of the best meta weapons in the game. And like I said, there will be a link in the description to the Tarkov Gunsmith website where you can go and easily see all these parts and see updated prices for all these parts on the flea market. So subscribe if you want to see more Escape from Tarkov videos. Leave a like if you liked the video. Leave a comment down below what you guys think about this RPK build, and thanks for watching.
Пацаны. Вон он, сука! Вот! Кепка, кепка! Куда пошел? Okay with it.
Ugh.